Does narcissism always require an audience? What happens when the mirror reflecting their self-love suddenly disappears? These are compelling questions that probe into the fascinating realm of human psychology and, more specifically, the enigmatic corners of narcissism. This psychological condition, which is often shrouded in misconceptions and stereotype, is far more complex and intricate than one might initially perceive. Narcissism, at its core, is characterized by an amplified sense of self-importance. Narcissists display an inflated ego and a profound desire for excessive attention and admiration from those around them. This is a need so deeply entrenched within their psyche that it manipulates their interactions, relationships, and overall view of the world around them. They are the protagonists of their own stories, narratives in which they are continually seeking validation and approval. Individuals with narcissistic tendencies find themselves drawn towards the limelight, relishing every opportunity to bask in the glow of adulation. They find comfort and validation in the relentless pursuit of others, a pursuit that often results in an all-consuming chase for recognition and approval. They meticulously craft their identities, admirably reflecting their desired image, all in an attempt to attract the attention they covet. Interestingly, this is not a chase without an end. So what transpires when this pursuit halts? What takes place when the once vibrant spotlight dulls to a faint glow? The applause once ringing loud and clear now fades into a distant memory. These are the questions that require further exploration and understanding in the realm of narcissism. But what happens when this chase ends? When the spotlight dims and the applause fades away? Consider the story of Richard, a successful businessman known for his charisma and charm. Richard, in his mid-40s, had risen through the ranks to become one of the most respected figures in his company. He was a man who had successfully crafted an image of himself as a dynamic and charismatic leader, one who thrived on the admiration and respect of his colleagues and subordinates. His office was like a shrine, adorned with trophies and accolades collected over long and illustrious career. Richard's employees looked up to him, always seeking his guidance, entrusting their professional progress to his wisdom. He was their captain, steering the corporate ship with steady hand and a confident smile. His aura exuded a magnetic charisma that made him the role model, the hero they all aspired to morph into. Every word he spoke echoed with authority and was treated as gospel by those around him. His every decision, every move, had a profound impact on the company and its workforce. However, life an unexpected turn when Richard decided to leave his company. He had anticipated a wave of pleas for his return, a collective outcry from his devoted team. He had envisioned tearful goodbyes, desperate requests, and heartfelt pleas for him to reconsider, to stay. But when he walked out of the door, he was met with an eerie silence. No one chased after him. There were urgent calls begging him to reconsider. Richard found himself grappling with this lack of pursuit. He was left in a state of confusion, denial even. He couldn't comprehend why no one was trying to convince him to stay. He had always expected his departure would cause a significant disruption, a void that couldn't be filled. He had assumed that his absence would leave the company in a state of disarray, chaos even. However, life at the company continued as if nothing had changed. Richard's narcissistic tendencies and overconfidence had led him to believe he was irreplaceable, that his leaving would cause a seismic shift in the company's fortunes. But the reality was a stark contrast. The company moved on without him, proving that even the mightiest of leaders can be replaced. His perceived indispensability was merely an illusion, a bubble that was burst by the harsh reality that no one is truly irreplaceable. Then we delve into the narrative of Emily, who had gained fame as a renowned social media influencer. Emily's followers were the vital essence of her existence, their approvals in the form of likes and comments, serving as sustenance to her self-esteem and inflated sense of self-worth. But when she resolved to take a hiatus from the relentless world of social media, she anticipated a deluge of heartfelt appeals for her return, pouring from her devoted followers. Instead, she was confronted with an unsettling silence, a void that echoed her non-existence. Her followers, who she considered loyal and devoted, effortlessly transitioned their attention to other influencers who were eager to occupy her vacated pedestal. Emily's absence, which she had assumed would invoke a profound sense of loss among her followers, barely registered a ripple in the vast ocean of social media. Her disappearance from the public eye, far from creating the anticipated vacuum, was overlooked and soon forgotten. This bitter realization was a rude awakening for Emily, who had believed her influence to be indisputable and her followers unwavering in their loyalty. The indifference of her followers in the face of her absence shattered her illusions of indispensability and left her grappling with her self-worth. The reactions of Richard and Emily, two distinct entities showcasing narcissistic behaviors, are not singular instances isolated in a sea of normalcy. These stories serve as enlightening glimpses into the obscured mind of a narcissist in scenarios when they are not after. They respond with a potent mix of disbelief, perplexity, and often fierce indignation. They grapple with the hard truth, wrestling with questions, trying to comprehend why they are not missed, why their absence doesn't create the chasm they thought it would. In summary, narcissists thrive on the pursuit and admiration of others. They feast off the validation given to them by their audience, finding a sense of importance in their reflection. Their entire existence hinges on the external validation they derive from being at the center of everyone's attention. They are like actors on a stage, playing a role, constantly seeking the approval of others to validate their inflated self-esteem and self-importance. They are driven by the pursuit, the chase, the longing for admiration and attention. However, when the chase ends, when the pursuit is over, and they no longer receive the admiration they so desperately need, narcissists are brought face to face with a harsh and unforgiving reality. This reality is filled with denial and confusion, a state of being that they are ill-equipped to handle. Their inflated self-perception, which once soared high in the clouds, is now crashing violently into the unwavering walls of reality. This collision is not a soft landing, but a harsh, brutal, and abrupt one. Their reactions to this sudden change in circumstances are incredibly telling. They paint a vivid picture of what goes on in the mind of a narcissist. The confusion, the denial, the struggle for acceptance, it all provides a wealth of information about the world of narcissistic behavior and personality. This intricate world is often misunderstood, but these reactions shed some light on it. They serve as a reminder that while narcissists may command the spotlight, their light is not eternal. It can and will fade away when the chase ends, when the pursuit stops. The story of Richard and Emily is a testament to this. Remember their story, remember what happens when the chase ends. This is because narcissism, as it turns out, doesn't always require an audience. Sometimes, it's the silence and the lack of pursuit that speak